Hello, Central New York, and hello, hockey fans all across the internet, and welcome to the Central New York Hockey Report podcast. I'm your host, Scott Kinville, and if you watch this on YouTube, you'll notice that I'm not in the studio. I'm actually at my house. Our faithful producer, Dave the Save Warner, he's in the studio, but he's feeling a little bit under the weather, and so he decided to put what looks like a Furby in my spot. That's actually that Furby looks better when I normally look. So maybe we ought to go with that full time. But Dave the Save, he's a trooper. He's there. He's just running things behind the scene, and God bless him. So, anyways, let's get going with this show because this is one I've been looking forward to for a very long time. So, what I want to do is I want to bring in Mr. Bob Shattell from the Salt City Prospects. He's going to tell us all about the Salt City Prospects program. He's also an assistant coach for Oswego State University, and he helps out with the West Genesee High School hockey program. So, Bob, welcome to the show. Thanks for coming on.
Hey, Scott. Thanks for having me. It's like you said, it's been a long time, and looking forward to it. Glad we could get on here.
Yeah, absolutely. Because we kind of started talking over Twitter. It was last summer. It's a very, very interesting thing with the Salt City Prospects. And I want to get the word out because I want everybody to know about this. So if you would, we'll start off with just a quick overview of the Salt City Prospects.
Yeah. Truthfully, I think this is probably year 7. I think we started back in 2017. And, realistically, it's mainly geared towards, this area, the Syracuse 315 Central New York area. We just provide a lot of skill development opportunities for kids throughout the summer. Opportunities to kind of, get in front of junior prep college coaches and kind of build bridges for players to get better and move on to play at their next destination, wherever it may be. And then from there, we do a lot of out-of-state stuff as well. So we run, small camps with only 2 or 3 teams worth of players for 16 to 20-year-olds all over. So we actually run camps. We run 2 here in New York. We run 2 in Pennsylvania, in Erie, PA, out of Mercyhurst rink, and then in Reading, PA, down in Alvernia University's rink. 1 in Massachusetts, in Worcester, Mass. 1 in Maryland, out of Stevenson University's rink, and then 1 in Vermont, out of Castleton University's rink. So all told, we do about 7 of those camps a summer, June 1st to August 1st, right around, and from there, it's just a lot of weekly skill development stuff. We run a college league throughout the summer, which I know you wanted to talk about down the road here. And so we keep ourselves busy. A majority of it is, like I said, from probably June 1st to August 1st, we're go pretty much every day. And then once the season starts, we're kind of full tilt with our program. So with our hockey program. So, like I said, we've loved doing it. We're very fortunate to have a really good, group of coaches and players involved. And, it's just continued to grow every year. And we're thankful for that every day.
Yeah, I was looking at your website, saltcityprospects.com, and you're right, from June to August. I don't think you guys get a day off at all.
Well, the only weekend I had off last year was my wedding. So every other weekend we were running the camp and took the one weekend off, and I got married on it. So it was a hectic summer for sure, and it's going to be the same way this year. So minus the wedding. So a lot of camps.
Well, congratulations on the nuptials, but I'm sure that was a busy weekend as well.
So. Oh, yeah. Yes, it was. No doubt.
So you said that the program started in 2017. So how did that come about?
Yeah. So actually, it's kind of funny. I was coaching club hockey at Lemoyne College. I coached there for 7 years before I got into NCAA hockey, and I was just looking for avenues to kind of recruit because obviously my budget wasn't great there to be able to get out and recruit and find kids. And I had a conversation with Stephen Malero, who's a good friend of mine, who's at Northwood now, and he was at King's College at the time, and had a conversation with him about like, hey, why don't we put together a camp? We'll get a bunch of coaches together and we'll go run this camp and, make it 16 to 20-year-olds and kind of give ourselves a recruiting avenue, just kind of get eyes on kids in the summer and, in a small setting. And so somehow, I couldn't tell you how, but we landed on Maryland. We went down to Rockville, Maryland, and it was, it was an interesting first year. I wasn't sure if we were going to be able to pull it off, and just through networking, chatting with people, and we ended up getting 42 kids, which is all we wanted, just 2 teams worth of kids, 24 forwards, 12D, and 6 goalies. Went down there, it went great. Got a lot of really good, feedback from the coaches, and got a lot of really good feedback from the players, and we said, hey, let's do it again. We did it again. We added one in Syracuse, and then we just started to add essentially a camp a year, because the interest is there. And, people keep asking us if we'll run camps here and there. And so we have. We never go above 60 players total. We always just keep it to either 42 kids or 60. So it's 2 or 3 teams, just keep it very small setting. And, like I said, since then, it's kind of taken off into what it is. And, it's made our summers definitely more hectic, but it's a good hectic and a good busy, and we enjoy doing it every weekend. It's a great group of coaches, we have every weekend, a great group of guys to hang out with and spend the day with at the rink, and a great group of players that, we're able to work with.
Well, yeah. Plus, when it's hot outside, you get to be in a nice, cool ice
Right.
rink. So, that's a built-in advantage right there.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah.
And speaking of advantages, since you guys keep your group so small, that's got to be a huge advantage for the players. They obviously get more one-on-one time with the coaches.
Yeah, and that's the big thing. Every one of our camps has at least 12 NCAA coaches there running everything. Some of our camp in Worcester has around 18, just based on the footprint with, how many colleges are within an hour here and there and how many guys want to work. Normally get about 18 to that one. And same with our Syracuse camps. We get between probably 15 to 20 for our Syracuse camps. And that's the big thing, right? Like, if I'm a kid, there's only 12 defensemen in the whole camp, and I'm going to, be working with 15 NCAA coaches over the course of the weekend. You really get to know a kid's game over that weekend with, it's 3 games and 3 practices. So that was the main idea of it, was to keep it small for that reason. So we're not overwhelmed as coaches on, how many teams are playing and who's going, and, you lose track of things. And, you really get to know the kids, not only as hockey players, but as kids too, as young adults. And so you really get an opportunity to get to know them, see their practice habits, their game habits, and their off ice habits as too. So, that's why we do keep it so small, because of that reason, just to maximize the exposure and the development that each kid gets throughout the weekend.
Yeah, absolutely. And you mentioned that there's a player max. Is there a position max for your camp? So in other words, do you cut it off and say, and I'll just throw numbers out here, 20 forwards, 20 defensemen, or does that part not matter?
Yeah, no, that matters. So our camps, so the 3 biggest camps we run are, like I said, 60 players. That's our 2 Syracuse camps and our Worcester, Massachusetts camp. Those are 60 players, and it's 36 forwards, 18 defensemen, 6 goalies. Can't go over that. And then our other camps, our 2 PA camps, Vermont and Maryland, only 42. So that's 24 forwards, 12 D, and 6 goalies. And routinely, I mean, truthfully, we probably have a wait list, in the double digits, by the time the camp rolls around, just because they do fill up quickly with only taking 2 teams. But we don't, like I said, we don't want to go past those numbers, just because, it takes away from that development and the exposure piece that kids get. So we make sure we maintain right in there. But yeah, the numbers are specific to each position, and that's for a reason. And it makes the camp much more seamless.
Very good. Now, if you're a 16 to 20-year-old player in the region where you're doing a camp, is there any other like parameters that a player must meet to join the camp, or is it basically you play for a high school team, sign up, and is it first come first serve?
It depends, truthfully. Realistically, like for our local camps, like kids skate with us all summer, right? We got a long list of kids that skate with us weekly in skill development. And, those kids truthfully get first dibs at both of our Syracuse camps. As far as our out of state camps, like we rely heavily on, coaches and their eyes. Like
Mhm.
we have just a group of coaches that are very good and knowledgeable, and same with our Syracuse camps. Like obviously, it's 60 kids. We want to get a high competition camp. And so we rely heavy on coaches, not only from this area, but outside areas, within an hour or 2 each way. And, send us kids that you think would be really good fits for the camp. And they do. And that, we rely heavy on that for the out of state camps mostly as well. Whether it's junior coaches, prep coaches, advisors, we have good relationships with those guys. And so every kid mostly, most of the time comes recommended, or we've already seen them ourselves. So, and then if any kid's interested, what we do is we, suggest and recommend just our contact information. My contact information is right on the website. Shoot us an email, shoot me a text. My phone number is right on there. Give me a call. I mean, I get calls around this time. I get calls, almost daily from parents and players just saying, hey, I saw a video on YouTube about your camp. There was AHA advising put out a camp or a video last year on the best showcase camps in the country, and we were in one of those 8. And so, we've got a lot of traction from that YouTube video, and parents and players have reached out, quite a bit asking how to get involved. And we will find places for pretty much everybody. We'll find the right fit for you camp wise. We do our research on kids. We'll watch them on video. We'll get out and watch them in person. We'll, ask coaches who have coached against them or with them. We do our research on kids before we find that right fit. But, we encourage people to reach out to us and get involved with what we do, because we think we're doing, things the right way. And we enjoy working with the kids at every age and every level. So, the showcase camps this year, it is for, 04s to 07s. So that, that's kind of the only parameter of where it is. We specifically can't find you a spot if you're younger than that, just because of the age group. But, other than that, we're happy to work with kids any way we can. So we're fortunate with that.
Yeah, absolutely. And I watched that video on YouTube, by the way, earlier today, and it was an excellent video. It really was.
Very good job. Yeah.
He did. Yeah. It was excellent. So you've been coaching for a long time. You've been working with kids for a long time. What are some of the biggest factors that you think that are the most important for a player's development?
First and foremost, for me, when I go and recruit, or if I go to a camp, the first thing that stands out to me is a kid's compete level. If a kid competes, it jumps off the page. And that's kind of the first and foremost thing. I love a kid that just competes, whether it's, realistically, we're running these camps in the summer, and, it's not game 7. It's not the state playoffs. It's not, whatever. And so a kid who still competes in those situations really stands out to coaches. That's huge. Body language is huge to me. And then the biggest thing too, I will say, for a kid's development is there's no rush. Just take your time. And I have that conversation with people quite a bit. Everything is go, go, go. And, especially when you see other people doing certain things, it's always kind of feeling like, am I missing the boat? Am I not doing the right thing? Whether it's the player or the parent thinking that. And, the biggest advice I can give people is enjoy the ride. It's going to be hectic. It's going to get hectic. And so enjoy it while you can, and just slow down, because realistically, like, every freshman that we have on our roster at Oswego State this year is 21 years old. So there's no rush. If you can keep your kid home, enjoy, save some money, so be it. That's great. And as long as the kid's having fun, as long as the kid's playing, and as long as the kid feels like he's getting better, then they're in the right spot. And then, because by the time you hit 18, that's when things start to get real hectic, when you enter junior and prep hockey and all of that. So, while you can make it as less stressful and anxiety ridden as you possibly can at the younger ages, that's huge for not only the kid's development, but just the players or the parents' mindset too, of just that, stress and anxiety that they're going to go through as a kid grows and gets closer to college.
Sorry about that.
You're all right.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you make a great point with that too, because it seems like, and it's not just hockey, but with other sports too, sometimes that development process can really feel like a keep up with the Joneses kind of thing. And you're right, whether it's from the player or the parent themselves.
Yeah. No. And again, like, we're fortunate to have a lot of really, really knowledgeable people who have been in the game for a long time surrounding us. And, we try to echo that every camp. We do a Q&A with all the players and parents before every camp. And that's kind of one of the biggest messages we stress is, enjoy the ride while you can. I always say to our guys at Oswego State, like, you have your whole life to be an adult. So enjoy being a kid while you can, enjoy playing a game while you can, and, try to make it as stress-free as you can, because it is going to get stressful at times. So, where you can avoid the stress, try to do that. And, it's just about taking your time, finding the right fit, and making sure that the development's there, the joy is there, because if the kid's not having fun, why do it? And then, if they're playing, then they're developing, and if they're developing, they're enjoying it. So if all 3 of those boxes are checked, you're in the right spot.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And, we'd mentioned all the coaches that participate, 18 plus from what I saw on the website, and it's really a who's who from across Division 1, Division 3. So that's got to really help too for somebody who's going through the Salt City program. Once they want to go on to the college level and all that, they've had those exposure to these coaches already.
Yeah, and that again, that's where the small numbers comes in, right? And that's such a key piece to it. And there's a couple examples that pop out in my head, and one that truly stands out is Logan Palmer. Logan's a local kid to New York, played junior hockey, and had a great junior hockey career. And then it kind of came time for him to go to college, and it was right in that COVID time, so it was really difficult for coaches to get out and recruit. It was difficult for players to get on radars, and I'll never forget, like, and it's tough, even tougher for a goalie to try to find college
Sure.
spots. There's so slim opportunities, and there's a lot of really good goalies. And Mike Young, who's Western New England University head coach, one of the best people I know in hockey, can't speak more highly of him. And he saw Logan at Syracuse camp the year before, liked him. And then as it got later in the year, I knew Mike needed a goalie. And Mike and I had a really, really, really good conversation about Logan, about, the kid he is, the player he is, the family he comes from. And I said, you know what, like, this would be a great kid for you to keep an eye on. And, Mike said, absolutely. And they tracked him, and Logan ended up going there, and he's a junior. And actually 2 nights ago, he ended up getting his first start in the NCAA, his first win, made 42 saves. And,
Awesome.
so it's one of those full circle moments there. And it's rewarding to see, because it did work out, because he is such a good kid. But again, that goes back to that, we're at Syracuse camp 4 years ago, and Mike and I have a conversation about the kid, and just kind of sparks that, I'm going to track this kid, keep an eye on him, and it ended up working out. So, we are lucky with the coaches we have involved that take an interest in every kid at the camp, to at least get them on their radar and take a look, and then, see where it goes from there. But every one of those guys that works the camps or works with us is, actively there looking for kids to better their program and better their culture.
Yeah, absolutely. And you mentioned COVID. Just out of curiosity, were you able to do anything during COVID, or did you have to shut down completely?
Yeah, no, we lucked out major. I didn't think we were going to be able to do any, and actually we didn't have to cancel a single one.
Oh,
We
that's
we had to jump through a lot of hoops. Obviously masks. We weren't allowed to get dressed in locker rooms. You couldn't, no spectators in Massachusetts. Actually, our camp there, they told us about 2 weeks before we couldn't have anybody under 18 years old on the ice, because it was only 18 and over were allowed to play. So that kind of threw a big wrench in our spokes, but we made every one of them work. It was definitely a lot of fun. It was definitely a lot of, like I said, it was as stressful as everybody else was going through at the time. But yeah, we were able to get a summer out of it. That was good.
Yeah, that's excellent. That's excellent. So besides the camps too, you do the summer showcase series. So tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, that started. I think this is year 4. This was year 4, 3 or 4. Again, that just started with a lot of good conversations with college coaches in the area. At these camps of, there's a lot of kids in this area that play high end hockey. That skill development's awesome. We love doing it, but there's kids, they want to play too in the summer, right? And once they reach that age, there's not, you don't have chowder cups. You don't really have
Right.
also the prospects camp. So, we sat down and kind of came up with the idea of just putting together a summer college league for the kids. And so it was just touching base with a lot of the college coaches, with kids that they recommend. And, we sent out, everything, all the information to, every kid that plays college or junior or prep, and just said, hey, here's what we're doing. And it took off. The first year we had a lot of success. I mean, kids are driving from Elmira, New York. They're driving from Buffalo. I mean, it's, kids are coming from a distance away. And when we said we wanted to do it, we wanted to make sure it was, done the right way. So, there's referees, we take stats, the whole nine. And every week it's a new roster. So it's not the same 2 teams every week. What we do is the same kids, but we make sure to mix up the roster. So, you're playing with different kids every week. You're playing on a different line every week, whatever it is. And so just to kind of make it as, up tempo, as exciting as the kids can get in the summer. And, that was 3-4 years ago, and it's still going, and we love doing it. The interest we get out of it. This year, the news came and ran a story on it. And, it's a lot of fun. It's great to just sit back and watch that hockey, because it's a lot of high end hockey players, and it's a fun, 60 minutes to watch. That's for sure, every week.
Yeah, absolutely. And you even got an AHL player I noticed last season, Daniel Walcott from the Crunch.
Yeah. Actually, we've been really fortunate. We've had 3 Crunch guys play. Daniel Walcott last year played a couple games, and then Ilya Usov and Max Groshev,
Yep.
2 guys from Russia. And when those guys landed in Syracuse over the summer, Jim Sorosi, who
Excellent
works
guy.
with Crunch,
Excellent.
one of the best people in hockey, called
Absolutely.
us and said, "Hey, these guys are in town. They're looking for ice. Do you mind kind of taking them in here for the next couple of weeks?" And we say absolutely every time. And so it's awesome. They come, they love it. There's a little bit of a language barrier, but that's all right. We make do. And it's a lot of fun seeing those guys out there. It's definitely adds a little more tempo to the games, and they seem to enjoy it. And again, it's good for local hockey. We try to get as many little kids as we can out there, and to watch the games, and it's a great thing to be a part of.
Yeah, I would definitely love to make some time to come out and cover a few of those games for our website this
Yeah.
summer as well. So they are open to the public.
Yeah, oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, there's no charge, nothing. Just jump in, settle in, watch. I know Cicero Twin Rinks last year had a food truck come out a couple times, so like if people were coming in, they can grab something off the food truck and things like that. So it's a fun time, that's for sure.
Absolutely. We'll definitely put the schedule up for you too, up on the website, which
Perfect.
we'll put
Yeah.
out as much as we
Oh,
can.
awesome. Yeah.
So all this happens during the summer, but right now you're a very busy guy as well. So as I mentioned, you're the assistant coach at Oswego State, and you also help out with West Genesee High School.
Yeah, yep. So this is my second year with Oswego State. 3 years. The 3 years before that, I was with Morrisville State, and then I ended up. My wife, she's actually the head lacrosse coach at Oswego State, so it kind of works out well. We're up there every day together, in separate seasons, obviously, so it makes the winters and springs pretty hectic in this household. But yeah, no, this is my second year up there. I love every day of it. It's a great group of players that we get to work with. It's a great staff that I'm a part of every day. And then West Genesee, I help out as much as I can there. This is my 15th year helping Frank Calabufo out, who's been a huge mentor to me for since the day I met him. And I truthfully wouldn't be where I am today without him. Just with the coaching, with Salt City Prospects, all of it. He's been such a integral part to everything of it. And I'm fortunate to still be a part of that program as much as I can. And it's just it's great being surrounded by hockey people that are invested and are doing it for the right reasons. And I'm fortunate to be in 2 organizations and programs that do it that way.
Absolutely. And you're definitely involved with 2 programs that are just first class and just run an excellent program all the way through. I was up in Oswego December 9th to cover your game against Utica, and that was the first time I'd been up there. And I got to say, I was so impressed with the facility up there, and just everybody was so helpful. Just a fantastic time. And I tell you, if you're going to go someplace to watch a hockey game, make the road trip to Oswego. You will not be disappointed.
Yeah, no, we're very fortunate. Obviously we're very fortunate with the facility. And with that, the community backing that we have is it's phenomenal. Our players go, they'll go to grocery shopping or they'll go to a diner, and they're recognized by players, they're recognized by parents, grandparents, and it's a very, very small, knit community when it comes to hockey. And it definitely gives it that extra feel to it, and the kids, our players really, really benefit from it, and they enjoy it, tremendously. Like I said, you walk out of the locker room and you got a line of kids hanging over the walls trying to get high fives from the players. And
That's awesome.
yeah, it's a great, it's a great community to be a part of. They really love their hockey, and it shows in the facility, it shows in the attendance we get, and it shows in the success that we've been fortunately enough to have for the last 20 years or so, or going back further than that. So we're lucky in that sense, and I'm lucky to be a part of it.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely one of the traditional D3 powerhouses, really. And you guys had some big wins this year. You got, wins over number 1 teams in Hobart and Plattsburgh. You beat Utica. They were number 4 when they came to town. So I was looking for the rest of the season.
Yeah, it's been an up and down year. Consistency's been kind of something we need to figure out. We get big wins, like you said, against those 3 teams, and we just can't find consistency. We got to start putting some wins together and some good games together consecutively. The good thing is, like you said, we have the rest of the season to try to iron that out. I think we got 9 games left and then hopefully playoffs. So, we're hoping to kind of get on, some sort of a little run here to build some confidence and, we're off this weekend actually. So it's a nice little break for the kids, get some rest and recuperation. And then we head out west to Buffalo and Fredonia next weekend to start our SUNY play. And then it's off and running from there the next, 4 weekends. And before you know it, it's going to be, the end of the regular season. And like I said, hopefully on to playoffs.
Yeah, absolutely. And I will definitely be back up for another game. So when I'm coming up, I'll let you know for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Shoot me a text.
It would be awesome.
Yeah.
And like I said, with Salt City, if somebody wants to contact you for more information or for signups, the contact info is right there on the website, saltcityprospects.com, correct?
Yep. Yeah, it's right there on the website. Our social media is, wide open. It's just Salt City Pros. We post a lot of stuff on there. I encourage anybody who's interested to look into, the website, into our social media. We're very fortunate. Like I said, I think it truly takes a village. And we're very fortunate to have a very good village of coaches and players involved in what we do. And, we're thankful for that every day.
Awesome. Well, like I said, Bob, thank you for taking the time out of your busy schedule to come talk to us, because being a coach on 2 teams certainly can't be easy, but it seems like you enjoy every single second of it. And we just appreciate you coming on.
No, I do. I love every minute of it. And thanks for having me on. I can't thank you enough. Like you said, it's been a while trying to coordinate this, and I'm glad we were able to finally get it set up. And thank you for everything you do with Central New York hockey, the way you promote it and not only the college level, but the high school and youth levels as well. We can't thank you enough, and continue the great work you're doing on your end.
I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. And, we will definitely be talking again soon. There's no doubt about that.
Sounds good. I appreciate it, Scott.
All right, Bob. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.